Hey guys, this is Joe from Analog Archive. I'm back with another video. It's been a little bit since I've made a video, just haven't really been finding much recently. Been holding out for some bigger finds and not just kind of buying as I see things. Just really trying to restrain myself and not accumulate a huge kind of collection of stuff that I'm not going to really listen to after one time. So been really holding out for some better stuff. So I'll get to that. Not a whole lot really still, but did find some stuff. Back in February, went to the Bob Shop one time, and one of the people that was working there that I've become friends with knew that I was a big Peter Brötzmann fan, and I think they had this for like a few years, and I think they had just kind of forgotten about it until recently, and he told me about it. This is I think it's a 4 LP box set. It's a duo of Peter Brötzmann and Kaiji Hano, who Brötzmann kind of recorded with starting in like the late 90s, and then going and think till like the last like maybe 5 or 10 years. This one is from 2018. There's two different recordings. There's one that's August 4th, 2018 at Zebulon in Los Angeles, and then there's August 8th, 2018 that was at the Chapel in San Francisco. Listened to a bit of it so far. Audio recording is really great on this. And again, being a huge Peter Brötzmann fan, another thing to kind of add to the collection. So that was a really cool one. I wasn't expecting it, until the worker told me about it. Next few are some things I found at Record Archive at the beginning of April. Been looking for a copy of this record, Billy Harper, Black Saint, for probably at least a year and a half, 2 years. Had a chance to buy one in Rochester that they had gotten in a collection, but unfortunately it was just the sleeve. There was no record that actually came with it, so I've been really kind of holding out to try to find a copy, and there was one in the bins at Record Archive. I think this is the second pressing. It's on the Rainbow Black Saint label versus just the original one was on the white and black one that people say the image was Sam Rivers. So really, really great session. Billy Harper's a phenomenal saxophonist. So when I find his stuff, I'm always picking it up. Another artist that if I find their stuff, I pick up, and he's in a similar kind of boat to Billy Harper. A lot of his stuff is a little more scarce, not necessarily more expensive, but just a little bit harder to find. And that's Steve Grossman. This one is Born at the Same Time. There were two different covers of this. The first one was like a picture of him, especially looking at Discogs, that seemed to be the more prominent one, or at least the one that there was multiple pressings that had that cover to it. This is the only pressing I found that looks like this. This is a French pressing, which I think this is what it was. I mean, it was a French recording it was made in Paris in November 1977. Steve Grossman, again, he's always been on my radar. A lot of his stuff, there's been quite a few albums I've picked up in the last probably 2 or 3 years at this point, but it's been a while since I found anything of his, and he's a great musician. He started with Elvin Jones in the late 60s. He was on the Live at the Lighthouse session with Elvin Jones along with Dave Liebman. That was kind of my introduction to him. So this was a great one. Very like post-bop, like modal type stuff, but really killer saxophone player. So again, this one's Steve Grossman, Born at the Same Time. So that was another great one. That one was cheap as well. Just those were in the bins. The big find from Record Archive, when I had taken the trip, I saw this posted on their Instagram, and this is In the World, Clifford Jordan. This is his second record on Strata-East after his kind of seminal session, Glass Bead Games. Been looking for a copy of this as well. I've always really loved the cover on this as well. But it's got Clifford Jordan, tenor sax, Julian Priester trombone, Don Cherry is on the trumpet on the A side, and then Kenny Dorham plays the trumpet on the B side. Wynton Kelly is on piano, Wilbur Ware bass, Richard Davis bass, and Al Heath is on the drums on the A side. And then on the B side, you've got Roy Haynes on drums and Ed Blackwell on drums, along with Kenny Dorham on trumpet. Everybody else is the same, but really great, again, kind of post-bop type session. And yeah, I've been looking for this for a while, so I was really excited to see this pop up. And yeah, that was a big find earlier this month. And then I kind of went on a little bit of a break for a few weeks. I didn't really find much, but I did have I had a chance to go to Rochester recently, and when I was there, I did actually take a trip out to Buffalo, and was able to find this record that I have I have the Real Gone Music pressing that I bought in 2021, so a few years ago, but really was holding out, or really was hopeful that I was going to find an original someday. It's in my Discogs want list for years, and a copy did pop up in Buffalo, so was able to grab this. Haven't listened to this and just bought this in the last few days, but really clean, really excited about this. Again, this was not only my introduction to Calvin Keys, but it was also my introduction to the great black jazz label. I might do a comparison between the two pressings. I remember being wowed by the reissue of it, but I'm really curious to see what the original sounds like as well. So that's what this is. Again, Calvin Keys is called Shawnee. This is his first record from 70. I think this came out in 71, and then he had a second record that came out a year or two later. I think this was like 70. I don't know if it says, 71. And then his second record, I think, came out in either 73 or 74. That was called Proceed with Caution. I picked up an original of that about 2 years ago. So this one completed the Calvin Keys Black Jazz catalog or set of records that he had. During the last 2 months or so as well, I had a chance. In my last video, I talked about a few records that I had found at the Syracuse Record Show, and when I was there, I found a copy of Frank Ocean's Blonde, and that record had been on my radar for years, probably around the same time as when it came out in like 2016, and I was really sad, especially when I got into vinyl, that if I did find a copy of it, that I was going to pick it up. So I bought a copy of it, and I just really loved the sound of it. I'm not into a lot of modern music, but that record just really wowed me. I loved the vocals. I loved the instrumentation that he kind of had incorporated into that. And so that kind of brought me down a bit of a Frank Ocean rabbit hole, to say. So I bought at the fair, it was just kind of an unofficial pressing. I wasn't even really aware of the fact that there was a second vinyl pressing. I knew the original had come out Black Friday, was selling for, even now, like almost 4 digits, sometimes even over that, $1,200, $1,500. You see on like eBay. I didn't know about the the repress that there was it was about 2 years ago. There was a repress, but after finding the unofficial one, listening to it, I looked on Discogs and I saw that there was a subsequent pressing that was 2022 around, and so I did pick up a copy of that. So this is the second official pressing. It has the original pressing that was a black cover and had a kind of white image of Frank Ocean. Did not have the E, it was just BLOND. So to kind of show the difference between that, he added E to this. Sounds great. Definitely sounded better than the unofficial one. So was really happy to have found that again. Just, there's not a lot to dive into when it comes to Frank Ocean. He only has 2 real records that actually have come out on like an actual label. Even though Blonde technically was actually a self-release by him. But I did find in kind of a few different locations some of his other records that are just kind of unofficial stuff. So Nostalgia Ultra, this is his first record, really kind of more of a mixtape that he put out in 2011. This was a record that originally was going to come out on the label that he was signed to, which I can't remember now what it was, but there were so many samples that had to be cleared, and because he was a new up-and-coming artist, they were not willing to pay to have those be cleared, and so he kind of put it out, I think, on like SoundCloud or some type of streaming kind of service, and there's been some pressings over the years, nothing that's actually official, but some of that. More people are familiar with this. Channel Orange, this was his first actual record on the label. Again, escaping me what the label that he was actually signed to, but Thinking About You was his big song from this. Lost is another one that you hear, especially on like TikTok a lot. But I found this one recently in Buffalo. So I was happy to have grabbed a copy of that. This is his other record that actually did come out. This came out right before Blonde was released. This is Endless. A lot of people say that this is a very like unpolished, unfinished record. Definitely kind of has that feel, but I was excited to pick this up again. There is an official pressing of that, but that's like $400 or $500 for that, which honestly, I've listened to the music. The music is pretty good, but I can't warrant spending that much for that. So, and then this one I wasn't even really aware of. I found this one along with Channel Orange. This is just more unreleased cuts of his music, stuff that didn't come out. And again, being kind of a fan now of Frank Ocean, really trying to find as much of his music, especially on vinyl, as I can, grab this one. So those are the finds for the last 2 months. Appreciate the support. I know, again, I haven't really been on much, but hopeful that in the future there will be some more kind of bigger things that I can kind of show to you guys here on YouTube. So, again, thank you for the support. If you have not already, please think about liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next vinyl video. Bye.